are live. NBA rundown time. RunPureSports.com. The best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. And I'm here with my two guys, Tyler and Title. Two guys that have been making a lot of money during this NBA postseason. And of course, we are here to help you out. Of course, the show is brought to you by RunPureSports.com. The best in daily fantasy sports gambling information, of course, where you get access to that NBA playbook. And Tyler, right, full transparency, probably should have had a little more cojones on the playbook yesterday because we both liked the over, but it was a lean. And that was the easiest way to attack last night's game. Depending on when you got the spread, you could have either cashed, you could have either got a hook, or you could have pushed. Close game one. Boy, so Tyler, I watched it late, right? I watched it when I got home, and I saw your message, right? And you said, man, good thing you're not watching this live, right? As the Lakers, push their way back. So you know me, right? Full transparency. I'm all in on the Nuggets. I'm rooting against the Lakers no matter what. What did you make of that comeback, Tyler? Because should it be encouraging that the Nuggets held on and got the win, and that's all that matters? 1-0, right? Now it's the Lakers have to win 4 of the next 6, and the games are split even. Or should I be worried? Did the Lakers unlock something, and is it going to be trouble here for the Nuggets in game 2? What do you think, Tyler?
No, I definitely think they found something in that second half, putting a Hachimura or a Vanderbilt on Jokic and just letting AD roam in the paint as the off-ball guy, because that's where he's going to get his blocks from. He affects all the other guys, too, because he can get in the passing lanes from there. He's not stuck on Jokic's back. You've seen it towards the end of that game, too, Spread. Jokic might have played a great game. I mean, he was just out there dominating them. But playing 40-plus minutes, he's not a guy that usually does that. He looked gassed at the end of that game. So if he starts to fatigue, I mean, this team's going to be in trouble. And I do think that Lakers defense, they figure something out. They're going to go right back to it in game 2. And if they would have had more time in game 1, I think they would have eventually stole that game, Spread. So I think they're going to get game 2. We're going to have us a series here.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to hear what you're saying, but unfortunately, there is a lot of merit to it, right? So here's the thing.
And the other thing, just another thing to touch on real quick before you go into that, I was listening to a podcast this morning. They were talking about it. The Nuggets have, 6 guys? Like, after Bruce Brown, we can't really trust these guys, the Christian Brauns, the Jeff Greens, really. Like, yeah, Jeff Green could pop off at any moment, but do we really trust him? So there may be, I'd say, 6.5 guys deep. We'll give Jeff Green a half. The Lakers have about 8 guys that they can go deep. They could still make adjustments. So, they have the depth here and the adjustments they can make. This is definitely going to be a series. And that line moved a lot more than we talked about yesterday, too, Spread. I might jump in on the Lakers here.
Well, I actually haven't even pulled up the line for game 2 yet. Let me do that right now. But so this is where it's – at first I was like, I'm not going to not watching all the games live. And, of course, not being able to live bet is one thing. But I swear from my scouting – it kind of helps because I go home and I read about the game before I watch it. So I already knew to look for that Rui adjustment, right? That was a good move. The thing is, did they show their hand too early right now? Do you think they were trying to save that? Now Malone's got a little chance to try and see that on tape.
What can they go to? We just talked about them having 6 guys. What can they adjust to, really?
I don't know. That's why I'm not a basketball coach. I watch the stuff and I listen to the podcast and I try and figure out how to bet it.
I don't see it. They run their offense certain ways. It's a 2-man game with Jokic and Murray.
Right.
With the way they could pass the ball, it just opens up so much. But that little defensive change, you've seen it just cause so much havoc. If they can't go to anything else, only having 6 guys, this can get very dicey for them. They don't make their shots. It's going to be a tough game for them.
All right. Title, I have been branded the #1 Lakers hater. What did you see last night? And, how do you think that game 2 is going to go? Tyler, I'm only seeing +5.5 on here. So this line didn't change much for me. I don't know what you have on the.
No, I'm talking about the series line. The +230 on the Lakers now to win the series. Might take a stab at that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. As much as I would hate for you to win that bet, I think it's a good bet. Title, what did you see last night, and what are you looking for in game 2, and what did you think of last night's game?
Yeah, no, Tyler broke it down well about, well, I've been talking about the Jokic thing. The longer the playoff goes, he plays at higher elevation. He's not used to playing all these minutes. Like the longer the playoffs go, I mean, he just can't do that. He has to do so much on offense and defense too. Teams are making him work. So, I mean, he's been so good. I do like the Nuggets in this series. Big game one. The adjustment is scary. I think Jokic and Malone, I wouldn't say they played their hand early because I'm not. The Lakers didn't know if it was going to work or not. They had to try something new. They had to adjust and feel good going into game two. But yeah, now that they did see that, I expect adjustments on the other side. I like the Nuggets. I think they are the better team. They have the best player in the world right now. But yeah, I do agree. The longer it goes, these playoffs, the more it gets scary for Jokic because miles are adding up for
why are we worried about him and not the 38-year-old dude or the injury-prone 29-year-old dude or whatever?
LeBron has shown me no signs. How he plays, he takes so much time off. He is so smart with his body, like defensive possessions.
You've seen the substitutions last night, Spread. Like they took LeBron out early. He was able to save some energy while AD was still out there with Jokic. Jokic had to pretty much play the whole game, and it still got close at the end. So, like, the fatigue, he's a bigger guy, too. Like, carrying all that weight around, it's going to fatigue him a lot more. I know AD could break at any moment. Bron's old, but just like Title said, they haven't shown us anything to make us doubt him.
Jokic has never showed anything for make us doubt his stamina either, though, has he?
Last night, you can tell he's visibly getting more and more.
Yeah, he was huffing and puffing at the end of the game. Yeah, it's just you play 40 minutes like that, the way he was playing on both ends of the floor, he was going to fatigue. I don't care who you are, you're going to fatigue.
All right. Well, I hate to hear what you guys are saying because you know how much my heart is invested in the hate, right? I mean, I'm really just embracing the hate, right? Dark side, like oh, you guys don't
like. Would it surprise anybody here if they won game 2, 3, and 4, and came back to Denver up 3-1?
I'd be a little surprised about that.
Because they're undefeated at home. I don't see them losing on their home floor.
I think Nuggets.
Bro, they beat the Warriors who suck on the road and the Grizzlies who are too worried about filming rap videos.
The Nuggets aren't the best road team either, though, Spread. We talked about this all regular season, so it's LA. Like, they're going to get the calls. That arena's going to be going crazy. I could see them winning both those games.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
This is disgusting, but I have to agree with you. So, Tyler, you know what's funny? When I was reading out my props yesterday, you guys were on board with me a lot. And a lot of those ones that I talked about yesterday cash. You know which one didn't cash? Was that Schroeder. Remember how you guys were like, we're with you. And then I got to Schroeder, and you're like, nope.
So Reeves had the assist, I think, in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had over 8 assists yesterday. So that was an easy one. We'll continue to go back to it. What was the other ones I gave out? Porter went over on his rebounds. Murray, I told you I bet it, but I didn't endorse it on the show because I was worried about the sickness. Ended up cashing that one. He easily went over his 24.5 when he scored 31 points. But I wonder also if these props are going to get a little easier. Like we don't expect what was it 260 points, right, Tyler? I mean, there's got to be a downtick in scoring here. Numbers haven't changed. Well. Actually, what was that? About 223 yesterday? It's 226.5. So I guess the total did go up a lot.
Went up a couple points.
All right. Title, how do you like playing these showdown streets as opposed to the normal type of builds that you usually master? I know some of us, like Meg's on tomorrow, she loves showdown more. How do you feel about Showdown? And, of course, we'll get some Showdown questions for you later for the Heat and the Celtics.
No, I don't like it. There's only so many ways you can go, and because that's the case, like you can't. Lineups are duplicated so many times. It's hard to play a lineup less than 10 where you can win 40,000, 30,000, something like that, instead of hold hands with 50 people and chop and win 10K. And, of course, yeah, 10K – is fine there, but if you're playing 150 teams, I mean, you got to win 10K enough. NBA Showdown, there's just not enough other options. It's the most projection-based sport, whereas MMA, NFL, like one catch, 160-yard catch on a Showdown just breaks the whole slate and can be low, and it's different that way. So I'm not a big fan. I still play, of course. I play the cash games. Threw in 50 lineups on Sunday for game for Game 7, and I was like, yeah, that's enough for me. So I'll only dabble if there's a milli maker. I don't think it's a great product personally.
All right, and if you want to be like Titletown and scoff at a potential 10K win, become a member at Run Pure Sports. Take advantage of the expertise.
That's not what I'm saying.
I know, but hey, we got to sell this somehow, right, Title? But no, but regardless, we're not going to let you off the hook. We're going to be talking about this Showdown site a little more. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about, Tyler? I mean, there was an NBA draft lottery last night. Do we want to touch on that at all? Or
we have to. I mean, the Spurs, where do they go? They get their last 3 first picks are going to be David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Victor Wembanyama. So, they've just lucked into 3 generational big men. I didn't want them to go there, but then it's they can develop well. So
why would you not want them to go there?
I just didn't like the guys he was going to be around. Once Portland jumped up into the top 4, it was please let him get the Dame. And they missed it by 1 spread. I think they said the ping pong balls played out was 14-8, 5-3. Portland had 14-8, 5-2. They missed it by 1.
Wow.
And how about Detroit? They got absolutely screwed. They had just as good of a chance as the Spurs to get the first pick. They got the 5th pick. They won 17 games last year. They're not going to get any of these good studs on the board unless they trade
this
up.
Draft is 10 deep.
It's not as deep as you think. There's the 2 very, very good guys at the top.
Well,
Brandon
first of all,
right there, I'd say in the tier of his own, right below those guys. But then below those guys are the Thompson twins, the Walker kid out of Houston, Whitmore, and then I think it drops off again.
Okay. All right, we'll see how it works. I saw the latest mock draft.
There's a bet on FanDuel right now. NBA Rookie of the Year for next year, Wembanyama versus the field. He's minus 186.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, that sounds like a good bet to me.
As long as he plays, he's winning it.
Yeah, he should be minus 500. And, I mean, thank God Brandon Miller's not going to go to the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Can you imagine how that would work out? Him and Ja on the same team? Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, I saw Brandon Miller mocked at number 2 to go ahead of Scoot Henderson. I think that would be a mistake by the Hornets, so I expect them to make it.
I don't see them putting Scoot with LaMelo either.
You don't pass on the best player in the draft because of LaMelo Ball.
I agree, but it's Michael Jordan we're talking about. We've watched him mess up a lot of drafts.
Isn't he selling soon, though?
I didn't hear anything about that.
Title, what did you think of the NBA draft there?
Yeah, I mean, who was getting Victor was the only question that I cared about. It was the Spurs.
Yeah. All right. Well, I cannot wait. I see my guy Uncle T in the chat. Uncle T, make sure you come back and check out our NBA draft preview. We're going to bring on Stevie Boyton. We're going to bring on Kurt. We know that's a lot of fun. And, of course, our guy Gavin. They gave us so much information last year that really helped us, Tyler. I felt from that Monday to the Thursday, we went from being draft newbies to draft experts. With all the content we produced and the great breakdowns they gave us. And, I mean, they gave us gems. He told us Walker Kessler was going to be a monster, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm surprised as he drops to 22. And right, and I said, boy, a lot of teams could use Stevie Boyton as their GM rather than the men that they had because for them to get him at 22 or whatever they picked him at, that was an absolute steal. So fantastic to see everybody here in the chat. Also, my guy Robert Bosbra, Jake Swales, let's do this. Even some guy spread his tear. Jonathan Nelson showed up off a loss. I mean,
his team looked good to finish the game. He knows what's coming in game 2. That's why he's here.
Lakers don't care about moral victories. That's a Sacramento thing. It's a small market
our
thing.
Our guy Johnny sees what's coming in game 2. He's looking down the road.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, Spread. I did get that one right about your Warriors. Not to bring that up, but
no, hey, I can't be right every single time, right?
Hey, it's not that you were necessarily wrong too. You told all your buddies, even up 2-0, it's a long series. You got to win on the road.
Yeah. I mean, if I was right every single time, I would have that little almanac like Back to the Future, and everything would be destroyed. Do you guys want to dive into tonight's game? I mean, Tyler, I haven't talked to you for a little bit. Did you have any other NBA hot takes you wanted to get off? Do we want to talk about how the MVP award went to the wrong guy?
Well, that's a
Who's
given. We don't need
your
to
next
waste our
coach?
breath on that.
We haven't talked to you since then. Who's your next coach? I think it's Monty Williams.
I hope Nick Nurse. I hope not Monty Williams. Why go to a guy that was out coached by the guy you just got fired?
Why would you not want Monty?
Nah, I don't know if he has the right in-game adjustments. And just seeing what Jokic when the Nuggets did to him, with the Bucks.
Is that really Monty's fault though? He had three NBA level players.
He had two guys.
Yeah,
what movements was he going to make?
You had two of the better scorers in the whole league. I mean,
yeah, and then he was getting flanked by Landry Shamet and Torrey Craig. Like, what's he supposed to do? What's the adjustment?
I think there's better coaches out there than Monty, and that's here. You got to at least see adjustments being made. I don't know.
There was that rumor though that the Bucks were looking to hire one of the coaches that was still active last round. And his name popped the moment they got eliminated. So I think that was their guy all along.
I'll tell you.
They've been talking about a million different people. Mark Jackson, the Heat assistant.
I think that'd be a terrible
idea. Mark Jackson, that shouldn't even be brought up. That's
I don't know why.
Ever. Yeah, talk about the game passing you by. I think all these guys have great basketball knowledge, but the game's changed.
Give me a young guy that has an analytical brain that has been sitting behind a good coach that people don't know about. Give me that guy.
Bro, did you? I mean, you're not.
Did you take Sam Cassell?
Neither of you guys watched Mark Jackson play, did you?
No.
Dude, all the guy he was a guard that just would post up smaller point guards, and he would start halfway out the paint, and he real strong, right? And he would just back his man down, and then turn around and make a short little floater, right? That doesn't even exist anymore, right? I mean, that's like running. What's the offense with three running backs, right?
The wing T.
Yeah, I mean that's like his style of play. Like, hey, he knows a lot about basketball, and I'd love to hear just his thoughts. But you can't have that guy leading your franchise.
Or the wishbone might be 3-2.
Yeah, whatever it is, right? I mean, it's just it's not the same game. It's played under different rules. I would want. Yeah, hey, you remember though, Uncle T, right? Him starting close to the 3-point line and just backing his man all the way down.
I didn't even know they had a 3-point line back then.
Yeah, they did. I think it
black and white TV got a fix.
It came around in around 1977.
Smacked the TV a couple times to make sure the picture's there.
We did do that actually. Tyler, when I was a kid, TV would just go off around midnight, and they played the national anthem right before it went off the air, and then it would be off the air till 6 a.m. So enough of the old guys pod, Uncle T. We'll give them the old guys stuff later. Let's dive into tonight. The Miami Heat plus 8.5. Tyler, we talked about this yesterday. I've slept on it. I watched the great Nuggets win, and I kind of feel the same. This line seems way too high. I could lose this bet, but to me, this is Heat or pass. I'm quite comfortable on it. So, I mean, I don't even know if you'll be able to talk me out of the Heat if you like the Celtics here, but I'm really curious on your thoughts on the total. 211.5. This is around where the Celtics games were the last series at the beginning of the series. And then, of course, we saw it continually tick down as the series got more intense. So I like the Heat plus 8.5, and I'm kind of lost on the total. I'd love to hear your thoughts there, but give us your overall breakdown of the game.
Yeah, definitely with you on the Heat plus 8. I want some of the money line too, just because we talk about fading teams off a Game 7 spread. I heard some good stats today on some podcasts I listened to. They said since 1988, teams off Game 7 straight up are 33-52. Boston likes to play with their food. We've seen it in the Atlanta series. We've seen it last series. Miami's going to come in. Spoelstra's the better coach by miles. He's going to run laps around Missoula. Missoula's going to look like a deer in the headlights out there tonight. It's Game 1. They're coming off that grueling series. I know Tatum put up one of the best games ever we've seen in a Game 7. But you look around everyone else their spread, they didn't do much. They were just kind of standing around watching him do everything.
I mean, when you're up by 30, what do you want him to do?
I mean, I agree, but even in the first half when they weren't up by 30 before they went on that big run, it was still just him. It was live or die by Tatum, and that's how they played a lot of their games in the playoffs. Okay. We know Miami has that picked out already. They know that's coming. Spoelstra's going to send a defense at them that's going to give them troubles. I'm on Miami plus the 8, the money line. And as for the total, give me the over here spread. I think there's not much defense in Game 1 for Boston. Boston plays drop coverage. Miami is going to shoot a ton of threes. I like their team total over 101.5. They've hit that over every game in the playoffs except for one. And when they've played Boston this year, they've hit it every game except for one. So I'll be on that over 101.5 and the total. Miami +8 and the money line.
Good breakdown there, Tyler. Title, the Heat are one of the teams that I was the most wrong about going into this postseason. I mean, you watched them get destroyed on the board by the Atlanta Hawks, and you're like, this team's done, right? I mean, we're looking at their draft prospects, offseason free agency moves. Does Kyle Lowry come back? Now they're here in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Tyler's making some great points on why they could steal Game 1 in Boston tonight. How do you see this game playing out?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because we were way back before the playoffs during the playing games. You were like, give me a real hot take. And I said the Raptors, and the Heat fit the same, and the Heat fit the same mold as the Raptors, though. And I was nervous going into Game 1 against the Bucks, even when they were healthy. Of course, I thought the Bucks were going to beat the Heat, but just felt like one of those teams that were gritty, that were well coached. They're long, they're athletic, they'll play defense. Like when you have Jimmy, the whole team, they have competitors out there. And man, Jimmy just seems on a mission right now. So Game 1 +8.5. I'm definitely on the Celtics for the series. I think Jimmy can only do so much, but I think this is the game that they come out, they throw everything at him. Celtics off of Game 7. Spoelstra's had a lot of time in the Garden. This feels like the spot that the Heat want to make a statement. So 8.5 does feel large. After that, I'm going to probably be on the Celtics almost every game unless I see something that surprises me. But yeah, today I do like that Heat. No lean on the total though at all.
Title, I would say we're not on the Celtics when things are going good for them. This team cannot handle success. I've said this joke before, so I know the chat will probably roll their eyes, right? But the Celtics, to me, when they get a lead, right, it's like half hour into those VH1 Behind the Musics, right? The band just broke through. They're touring. The guys, they're getting models every night. The bass player's doing blow, right? The drummer's doing heroin. Like they can't handle success, right? I mean, that's how it feels like the Boston Celtics are. So, hey, if they get up 2-1 or 3-1, we'll come back on the Heat. Here's my hot take for this series, and I'll start with you, Title, on your thoughts of it. I think maybe Tyler Hero was a blessing in disguise because now they go all in on one identity. Rather than being this balanced team, right, where we got these guys to defend, we got Hero that scores, right? It's just all defenders out there, right? I mean, they got 5 guys. There's not a good mismatch to attack as far as their individual defensive capabilities. You're doing it more off size, like, oh, hey, that guy's smaller, things like that. But I think without Hero in the lineup, now we've seen this vaunted Miami Heat defense that we've kind of gone to stereotype them for over the last 4 or 5 years, right? Heat, top 5 defense in the league. Heat, one of the best defenses in the league. Without Hero out there, and Duncan Robinson hasn't been getting very minutes either, who's really like Tyler Hero light at this point. This Miami Heat team really has the ability to put the clamps down. What do you think about Hero's absence? Because I know he's a player that was in our cores a lot and did a good deal for Miami in the box score this season, but it feels like they have more of that traditional Heat identity now. Would you agree, Title?
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I will say I think the Knicks are cheeks. I hardly look at that last series. Jalen Brunson carried those bums the whole time. Like that is not impressive. So I think this series, because I'm on the Celtics, I do think, like I said, after Game 1, I'll probably be on them. I think the Tyler Hero, him missing, will look pretty bad in this one. You're going to want his scoring. I think that he's going to go through droughts where they struggle putting the ball in the hoop. So to be honest, I definitely do get what you're saying. Duncan's still going to get some minutes. Truss isn't the best defender. Outside of that, yeah, they definitely do have a good unit, can switch a lot small. But no, I think that he would have a better chance in the series for sure with Hero. I think they're going to need a scoring, and it'll show in this series. Unlike last series where, like I said, the Knicks they're bad, man. They're bad.
What does this say about the Cavaliers? You know how high we were on the Cavaliers all season?
What does that say about the Cavs? What does that say about Jalen Brunson, though? I mean, Jalen Brunson, he knows how to get it done.
All out stud. Tyler keeps trying to trade. Where you keep trading Randall to? Milwaukee, Tyler?
No, give him. No, I don't want Julius Randle anywhere close to Milwaukee.
Oh, Minnesota. Tyler keeps trying to trade Randall to Minnesota.
Minnesota. Not to Milwaukee. He ain't coming to Milwaukee. Give me Bobby over Julius Randle any day.
It fixes 2 teams' problems. We get Cat and we can stretch the floor a little better. They get an actual power forward to put next to Gobert.
No, I will say I would definitely rather. It helps you. It doesn't help Minnesota.
Who would you rather have, Towns or
They're
Randall?
in shambles.
Towns for sure.
I think that's interesting.
I feel very.
I just think
very
it fits
strong
better.
I think like basketball wise, like Towns is way better, but I don't like
Randall
his mentality,
is cheese.
man.
Yeah, Randall is cheese. That's the page I'm at, bro. Bro.
But you want the ball in Ant's hands. So if you bring in a guy like that could just stand in the corner and hit threes, I know Cat could stand in the corner and hit threes too.
I was gonna say, give me Cat as his final shooter even more than Julius Randle.
Yeah, Cat also wants the ball in his hands. Like he thinks that's his team.
So does
too.
Julius.
Like,
Julius gets it. He goes up right away. He gets that ball, and Julius ain't giving it back.
Well, I mean, technically the Knicks were his until Jalen showed up.
Yeah, but then he should have realized that he still was trying to act like it was his. It was not his.
All right, we'll see if Tyler's fake trade goes through. So, Title, I know that it's tough to get you out of bed for these smaller prize pools, but we'd appreciate it if we went over some of these showdown.
I didn't say there were small prize pools. It's good luck winning that prize pool by yourself, like other contests.
Yeah, I know. So I know that this is you're kind of I'll pull in a showdown lineup, but you're like I'm gonna just ship the $100K in Major League Baseball, right? And you're going over some of these BIP stats and stuff that I haven't really been following. My knowledge of baseball is I tell JJ, I tell Joey work, and wow, there's magically more money in my account. I don't even check the scores. But so I got a good question in the chat. Like Robert Williams, like how are you approaching? Because you're going to at least play a couple lineups tonight, right? You're not.
Yeah, I always
sidelines, right?
No, I always play cash games. I don't know if I'll play any GPP lines, but I mean, I know where the builds are going to go. It is an interesting note people have talked about in the YouTube. Is it going to be Robert Williams starting? Are they going to continue to go big, or are they going to go back to the Derek White lineup and go a little smaller? I don't know. I mean, because the Heat are going to go Love, Bam. It would definitely make sense if you go Horford on Love, Robert Williams on Bam. You play big, Tatum, Butler. Like it makes sense to match up that way. But they can easily go the other way. Horford on Bam, Tatum on Kevin Love, Jaylen Brown on Jimmy Butler. Like they can go either way. So it'll be interesting. You're going to have to be around your computer to see starting lineups today, and that whether Robert Williams starts.
Do you really think it matters that much? Like, are
you
taking Williams out of your lineup if he's not starting?
I think you definitely would give him a minutes bump down.
I think he's only going to get 20 minutes regardless.
Fair enough. If you think
they're definitely going to play the feel-out game. Like, if you see the smaller Boston lineup, you're going to see Love pulled for Martin quick and get the two guards out there with Butler and Bam. And if it goes the other way, then there goes Time Lord out, Horford to the 5. Like, you're going to get more Grant Williams minutes, too. So, it's just – I think game one's all over the place.
I mean, Robert Williams, his last two starts, 30-27. Before that, he wasn't cracking 20 minutes. So, feels pretty – if he starts, they're more likely to close with that. And if he does play well early – and I'm always a big Robert Williams guy. I mean, he's so active on both sides of the court. I think he makes the team better if Mazzulla sees that or not. I don't know. So, yeah, starters does matter to me, though. Monitor that. I think a lot of people are going to go Tatum captain. They're going to go right back to that. If Robert Williams does start, I think people could go him. White start, maybe some go there. I like Jimmy captain. If we're on the Heat side, if we're talking game one, we're a Heat plus 8.5. I think this is the game they come out. I think he's interesting. Bam's always tough to get to. How I say it, though, like Rubio's done a great job lately. K. Fallick, they both shipped yesterday, so make sure to read their Showdown playbook. I'm not quite sure if it's a full punt 1K, jam all the studs kind of slate. If you do punt the 1K player, Cody Zeller's only 1K. I think all the ownership really goes there. So, like, if you go stars and then scrub and your one scrub's Cody Zeller, just know you're not getting different that way. Like, we have some of these other slates where you knew you were getting 0 points. Just play AD, play Jokic, play LeBron like yesterday. But I say you try and get 6 guys that are going to be on the court a good amount. Caleb Martin, definitely like him. I think he gets a good amount of run. The Brogdons, the Smarts of the world. I like this guard play in this game, but I think it's mainly get 6 guys that are going to see the court. You're fine. I'd be fine with a mid-tier captain more so than play stars and scrubs, play a guy that's not going to see the court.
All right, so help me out real quick here. Right now, this is just hypothetical. Let's just say I had no idea what's going on, but I want to get in these Showdown streets tonight. I go over to runpuresports.com. I sign up. I use the promo code TITLE15. Right now, how am I going to use the content to help me make a nice lineup tonight? So talk to me like, I'm new in these streets. What would I do, Title?
Yeah, so pull up Run Pure Sports right now. You go to under NBA right up top. You see Showdowns. Click on that. You get it says NBA Showdown Playbook. Rubio does that. He's starting to put some names up. Yeah, he has a slate overview. A fun Celtics. Yeah, slate overview already up. Not notes yet, but check out that. Rubio has absolutely been on fire. Big T also has his Showdown player pool in here. These guys play a lot more Showdown than myself. So these guys have been in the tournament streets. Like I said, I did it, and I gave up after one time. I goes, wow, all these lineups are way too duplicated. The winner is not getting paid out as much as I want to be paid out when I do win. It's hard to get unique. Check out Rubio. Check out that. And K Falk in the Discord, JSU in the Discord have done a good job. I definitely say listen to them more than myself when it comes to this.
Yeah, and for most of us watching, we'll be happy to just win 10K. We're not six
it's not
figures
about,
or
it's
bust
not,
like
it's not
you,
about
Title.
that. I'd be
I know. I'm just teasing.
But in the long run, it's a negative. I believe that contest is negative EV for the most part. It's hard to make good lineups in that contest. It's all.
That's funny because don't you think that's been some of the better content that we've produced? I feel like
NFL Showdown.
Crush.
NFL show. Yeah, I mean, you can crush, but like how I like it.
Even
I like
NBA,
winning.
like we would jump on playback and just make lineups, and I'd like cash like.
Yeah, how I play, and like I said, I want first place by myself or as little as possible. You can't really make lineups like that in NBA because, I mean, you're not like, when is Grant Williams going to outscore Malcolm Brogdon? Like, and you save the $3,000. Whereas you go to, when is Kenyon Drake going to outscore Rashad Bateman or whatever, talking with Tyler's, like that can easily happen. Like it's just,
or like
it's just
the third string receiver catches the touchdown instead of the first stringer.
Yeah. Or the guy in the slot that's way $6K cheaper. I mean, that can easily happen in the NFL, or your tight end second, like.
So maybe you think you should just go for small, like a single bullet strategy?
I like going more the single entry, 3 entry max contest, 100 to 400 people in showdowns more. Yeah.
When we were on the playbacks, I was making a lot of just 2 different lineups, right? So small, big chance for a small amount of outlay, and I would think that that's what a lot of the people who are watching right now will do as well. So of course, right, like Title said, it is tough, but you want to get in there, you want to get a part of the action, get off the sideline. RunPureSports.com is the place to be. You can use that playbook, use Big T's player pool, help you try to craft a winning lineup. Like Title said, it's going to be tough to take down, right? It's going to be tough to take down. This isn't the Sunday Millie Maker.
We've had multiple RPS, like K Falk and Rubio yesterday. Redmond did it like the day before. People are crushing the RPS showdowns over here. It's just, for me, it's not my forte. I don't play everything. You got to know your strengths. You got to know your weaknesses. That's one of the biggest things in this industry. If you think you're an expert in everything, well, to be honest, there's probably people smarter than you in other stuff, and you can bleed money. So it's always important to know your strengths and weaknesses. And people are better than me at NBA Showdown tournaments. That's a fact.
Well, we appreciate the transparency here. Tyler, yesterday we had a lot of fun with you guys reviewing the props that I bet so far. Do you want to do a little thumbs up, thumbs down for the wagers I made?
Might as well. We'll get Title in on the new segment, the thumbs up, thumbs down on your props.
All right. Let's get started here. Gabe Vincent, right? Let's have some fun. Gabe Vincent, over 3.5 assists. He's gone over the assist total in 8 straight games. He's averaging 5.3 assists per game. Tyler, this isn't much of a breakdown more than me just looking at the box scores.
I was going to stop you right off the bat and just say good, like thumbs up. That was one I already locked in.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just looking at the box scores. I mean, I there's nothing I saw on tape. There's nothing I heard on a podcast or read in an article to pump me here, but it just keeps going over. So I'm going over on Gabe Vincent for the assist. Title, just stop me if you think, these are bad or
I'll
good.
I'll go like this. Keep going.
Yeah. This one, Tyler, I love the play, but the question is, at the juice, is it still an advantage play? Bam Adebayo over 0.5 steals. So all he has to do is get 1 steal tonight and you win. Okay, that sounds great, right? This is easy, right? This is awesome. He's got a steal in 14 of his last 18 games, right? So, hey, but the thing is, it's minus 200. Now, I know that 14 out of 18 is close to 70, 80%, and minus 200 is a 66% hit rate. Do you still think I have an edge there, or do you think I'm pushing it?
I'm not going to give you the straight thumbs up spread. We're going to go a little crooked, and I'm going to have you audible on this play. Just take the over 1.5 steals plus blocks at like minus 120. I think that's it. You're going to
get steals plus blocks?
Yeah, stocks. You don't get those?
I don't know if I have that one offshore.
Because I feel like Boston's going to turn over the ball a ton in this game. He could get 2 steals, let alone just 1. He could also just get a quick block too. So I would rather play the over 1.5 steals plus blocks instead of.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that offshore. I mean, maybe you guys can point me to. I'm not using Bovada right now. I'm going on Bet Online. So, okay. So Tyler says over 1.5 blocks and steals for Bam. Our guy
Marquis locked in right there.
Group agrees as well. What was the last one I did? Jimmy Butler over 6.5 rebounds. Right. We know that the playoff Jimmy is here.
Give me 2 of them.
He's gone over in 5 of his last 7 playoff games, and he's averaged 7.6 rebounds per game over the last 7 games. If we like Jimmy as captain here, we got to like some of his props, right, Title?
Like it.
What do you think, Tyler? Is there any reason for me to – I mean, it's not even –
I'm locked in with you on the 6.5. I don't hate taking the double-double either. And just with the thought process that we think they can steal game 1, those performance doubles there's some crazy odds out there, like a Jimmy 30-plus points and win. I know he didn't clear 30 in any of the Knicks matchup, but he was also dealing with the ankle injury. And they were just able to beat them with so many different guys. That's plus 650 in this game. Him to get 8 rebounds and they win the games plus 700. Him to double-double and they win plus 900. There's a lot of these performance doubles.
I like the 8 rebounds one the best.
I like the 8 rebounds, but I'm definitely betting the double-double too because I think he's going to crush today. So love that play.
All right, here's one I don't think you're going to join me on. Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points. He's gone over 24.5 in 18 of his last 29 games. And for over the last 29 games, averaging 26.2 points per game. Kind of made it a long span to get there, though, right? We talk about it when we make these. I can probably redo the numbers, go over the last 14 games, and he would average less. So I could see how you cannot like this one. I think it really comes down to what you think of this total. If you think it goes under tonight, a lot of these point props might not get there, especially the bigger name players who have the high numbers. What do you think of Jaylen Brown tonight, Tyler?
I like the over in this game, so a slight lean to the over on his prop, but I can't play it. He's fallen too close to that number for me. Like I've seen him hit the 23 mark, the 24.
He's hit 23 a lot.
And then he just doesn't get that last bucket for you to get you up over that 25. So I'll stay away from that one. I got crushed in a Miami game on Friday spread when Bam grabbed that last rebound for the double-double. Mitch threw him on the ground.
Bro, I'm still tilted about that.
They call it a defensive rebound, and it's like, where did somebody else touch the ball here? And
a team rebound. Did you see that Title?
Unbelievable.
I'm trying to think of the exact one that.
Regardless, Bam grabs the rebound by himself. The scorekeeper gives him a 10 rebound, so he doesn't have the double-double. And it cost Tyler, what was the bet?
We had his double-double and win. I think we had him at plus 200 somewhere.
Yeah, it was like, it's tough. Yeah, I've been a big Jaylen Brown lately, Marquis. It feels like Tatum is all over the place. It feels like Brown's been.
They live or die by Tatum, though. Brown isn't going to take shots away from Tatum ever.
That's fine. I'm not saying that he should. I'm just saying
I know that, but if Tatum starts to catch fire like he did last game, they're just going to feed him the ball.
Yeah, and of course that's always going to be an issue, which is why I was saying I didn't know if you would like that one as much. I got Tatum over 4.5 assists. My idea is that everyone's going to run to play that point prop again, right? We just watched him drop 51. The guy couldn't miss. It was a spectacular performance, one of the best that I've seen in the last 10 years. So, of course, we're going to continue to give his prop. Feels like people are going to run to bet the over on his points tonight, right? Why not? So I'm going a different route. I'm going to the assists. He's gone over 4.5 assists in 8 of his last 9 games. And in those 9 games, it's 5.6 assists per game. Maybe a different way to take advantage of Tatum's playmaking without going straight to that point prop like everyone else. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I like that one too, because I think that they're going to try and force everyone else to beat them here. And you might see some double teams get sent his way. He could dump it off. He's even thrown some alley-oops to the Robert Williams of the world, and they've gotten some dunks at the rim. So there's different paths he can get those 5 assists. I like that one.
What do you think, Title? I think a lot of that prop depends on how you think that Miami's going to approach defense. Are they going to let him play single cover? Do you think they'll put Butler on him? How do you think they approach that defensive conundrum of trying to stop Jason Tatum?
I wouldn't mind I wouldn't be surprised if they start 1-on-1 and see how that works.
You think they'll put Butler on him or someone else?
Caleb Martin, maybe. Butler. I mean, Caleb Martin when he does come in the game. Yeah, I think it probably starts with Jimmy and then Caleb Martin off the bench chases him around mainly. Lowry, I don't know. They do really weird stuff with Lowry. I don't know. I think they might start single, and then if he starts beating them, they'll throw doubles and make others. But they just get so many guys around. Like, I don't know if double. I think you do make them just take tough contested 1-on-1 shots and live with that.
What's your guys' thoughts on Bam at 2.5 assists? Because Boston plays.
I haven't looked at those ones.
Boston plays the drop coverage. Do you think Miami goes with their patented play where he just kind of stands at the top of the key and hands it off to the Duncan Robinsons and the Struces and they just shoot the 3? Or do you think it's going to be more of the dribble pick and rolls when Smart and these guys go under the screens? That's when they fire.
That's a good question. I really can't give you a good answer.
Yeah, I don't have the lead. I think it'll be Jimmy Bam pick and rolls, pick and pops, and they go under. Bam shoots or they double and Bam shoot. I don't know. I don't have a good lean on that one.
All right. Yeah, let me give you one more, Tyler.
So give me one more spread so we can go to same game parlay.
Butler, under 5.5 assists. He's gone under this assist total in 9 of his last 10 games. He's only averaging 3.4 assists per game. Tyler, this is numbers based off his regular season average, but it is playoff Jimmy. Am I walking into a bear trap here by betting this Butler under on assists?
I think so, just because I think he's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. Mm-hmm. And I think the Gabe Vincents and the Kyle Lowrys are splitting that Tyler Hero role of handling the ball too. So they're getting their assists. But Jimmy's amped up to get another 30-plus point game. He really didn't have to do it in the Knicks series, and he was dealing with that injury. He's got to be close to 100% now. You know he hates Boston. I think he comes out, and he's just going to have the ball in his hands a ton. And if he's scoring, they're just going to start sending doubles at him, which is just going to force him to pass the ball.
I was about to ask you that. We just talked about how they approach Tatum. How do you think they approach Butler?
I could see them doing the same thing they're going to do to Tatum. Just force the ball out of his hands and force everyone else around you to beat everyone around him to beat you. So would it surprise us if he ended tonight with like a 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assist game and like 3 steals? Yeah. Like that sounds like a Jimmy game for tonight.
Our guy in the chat likes Kyle Lowry over 5 assists. Of course, Tyler, you talked about it. Lowry really been boomer bust.
The real question is who's hitting the threes? Who's hitting the threes? Miami's got to shoot threes to keep this game close.
Kevin Love, he's going to chuck. Struss and Duncan will continue to chuck. Caleb Martin, I mean, he's going to be the open guy, and I think they chuck a lot.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to chuck threes in this series, and the drop coverage is just going to give them to them. So I like these guys' threes props too. I think Struss has the most volume out of all the guys, and it's at 2.5, so I don't hate taking a shot at that.
All right. Well, before we give out the best bets title, I know you said that you're not as excited about tonight's Showdown slate, but that doesn't mean that you're not excited about what's going on in the DFS world. And I know that you've turned your focus to other sports. I see you on the baseball show. Full disclosure, I don't watch it. I don't know anything about baseball, but I see you on there, and I give you the thumbs up when it goes off my timeline. But for people like me who have really no idea what's going on, let them know what's going on with your baseball content and all the content they can receive this summer at runpuresports.com if they become a number. I know that summer gets slow, but this team crushes on baseball. We got a great baseball team. Talk to me about the content you're providing, the other team members that are also providing content, and how excited you are to win some of the, Tyler doesn't want to wake up for 10K. Give him those 6 figures. He's gonna ship one this season. And what's the content you're going to use when you're making these lineups, Title?
Yeah, MLB, like you said, summer's a little slower. NFL, NBA in the main time, but it's still huge contest in MLB. Swing for the Fences, a free show on YouTube on the Run Pure Sports channel that we're on right now. 4:45 Eastern. I'm on there 4 days a week. Today, DC, Mangone, and myself. What I do like about baseball, though, there's early baseball some days, like today, 3:10 Eastern, right before on the show, right in the beginning of the show. Finishing up MLB teams, all the content over at Run Pure Sports, a playbook that breaks down the whole slate, core plays. You get our coordinators, our plays that are in our lineups, cast chart, all of that good stuff. MMA also, always do MMA shows. Shows are on Friday, cards are on Sunday. Premium content behind the paywall there. It does remind me, Tyler does owe me $100, so I'm glad you threw that my way. Golf, big golf event tomorrow.
Goddamn all Joe.
Tyler doesn't even remember $100.
Hey,
That's like me finding a penny.
No, that is not true at all. I forget my bets sometimes. But yeah, a bunch of content going over on Run Pure Sports. I'll be back on in an hour talking some baseball. We appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us. And you guys, the NBA season's wrapping up, but you guys do a great job on this show every single day, bringing in guests. I enjoy hopping on as well, and you guys have been crushing the playoffs as well, so keep that up.
All right, yeah, it has been a lot of fun, and of course, winning that money, the new floors, be putting those in this weekend, and of course, those will be paid for courtesy of the work that Tyler and I did on the NBA playbook this year. Up over 40 units on the year.
And, just like he said, the NFL will be back soon enough. Hopefully, we got our guy Title on that Monday show so we can do the showdown.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, hopefully?
We will have him.
No, I demanded it.
Yeah.
So I already told Nick. I said, Title's on the show.
We will get another screenshot off of that show. So you could book that for this year.
Yeah. And we have fun on that show too, right, Title? It's not, we don't have to give out winner. We can just talk. Hey,
fun show.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers sucked yesterday. Like, wow, can you believe he threw 3 interceptions for the New York Jets? I can't believe that a Green Bay Packers legend went to the New York Jets and absolutely sucked.
No, he ain't gonna suck.
I can't believe that
he ain't gonna suck. He ain't gonna suck. Don't worry. But 17 more
You think he's gonna be good?
Yes, I think they're gonna be very good. Super Bowl!
No, he's
the
going
Jets?
Jets, Jets.
Oh, I cannot wait for the Monday shows. Bro, Tyler, I wish I was that Adam Sandler movie. I wish I could fast forward to week 1 right now. I can't believe
do too. Come on.
I can't believe this day. I wonder if Aaron Rodgers is going to send any pictures to any New York Jets reporters, too. We know that Green Bay Packers legends love to do that. But enough NFL talk, Tyler. Let's give the people the best bets for the day. Side total prop. What's your favorite bet?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Heat +8, and I'm going to sprinkle on that money line. I also like the Heat team total over 1.5. And we built a same-game parlay off your prop spread. Okay. We went with the Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists, Jimmy Butler over 6.5 rebounds, Tatum over 4.5 assists, and Butler under 5.5 assists. Miami +8. That gets us a 20-1 ticket.
20-1?
Yep.
NBA rundown. Guys, all we ask you to do is hit that thumbs up. Everyone's supporting that. You ever notice, Tyler? We got a pretty nice chat.
Oh, we do.
I've checked out some other shows. People say some mean stuff on YouTube.
They have a very aggressive chat. We have a very safe place for a chat.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they're worried the host is going to murder them and just leave their bodies strewn across national parks all over the nation. Title, what's your best bet for the day? Side total or prop?
You see how he did that? Like, that's how they all do it, Title. They just sneak their little jokes in, and then it's actually true. And Title, before you go into it too, I don't know if you caught him on it was yesterday. He's over here trying to tell Mangone what computer to buy. Guy refers him a Mac, and he guesses on what kind of phone he's got.
Not
Android.
He's got an Android phone.
I know he does. We talked about it before.
I was like, this guy's wild.
But we're live on my mini Mac right now. I think it's a great computer. I could go move it in the other room right now.
Don't take technology advice from Spread. That's number one, man. Going talking best bet though. What I do take advice on is Spread's props. Gabe Vincent, you said he hasn't missed that 12 months. Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists. I'm gonna keep riding that out.
All right. And hey, guys, what we're going to do here right now, because we appreciate everyone hanging out. I haven't checked, Tyler, but we'll go on the honor system. I appreciate everyone hitting the thumbs up. And we're going to give you a little taste, right? Just a little taste what you'd be getting in that NBA playbook today. If you logged on right now, I haven't put the projections in yet, but regardless of what they come out to, I already know this is going to be a bet. So you're going to see the game, the odds, and then you're going to see the pick, and it's going to say either lean or RPB. RPB stands for Run Pure Bets, and that means the members of the Run Pure Bets team have placed that bet themselves. That means that that ticket is in my betting sheet right now, and when it wins, it'll be withdrawn because after I do my floors, Tyler, I think next year's winnings, I'm going to redo the kitchen.
I figured you just needed to buy a new shovel.
All right. But the pick that's going to have the RPB next to it is the Miami Heat plus 8.5. Tyler and I are in lockstep there. We think this line is way too high. I think this line should have been about 5.5, just like the Lakers and the Nuggets. Once again, it feels like the Heat are failed to be respected by the market, and I understand why. Because I build these models, and we're using a lot of these regular season numbers. This wasn't a good regular season team, right? But what we have to do when we're betting this, we're not just blind accountants. We don't just put the numbers in and do whatever they say. We understand context. We understand where, hey, noise or signal. Is this actual model? Is it telling me what's really going on? And I think this is the case where people are getting blinded by the Miami Heat's ineptitude during the regular season and not just sorting by how good this team's been in the postseason. 8.5 is too high. This line should be 5.5. Miami Heat plus 8.5. Best bet for the day. Title. I know you got to run. You got to go get some baseball content up. Of course, it's available on runpuresports.com. Promo code Title15 will get you in there. But give us some words of wisdom before we light off.
Hey, always fun hopping on the show. NBA playoffs. It's a great time. During the NBA, during the NFL, it's a very busy time. Summers, get to spend a little more time with family, get outdoors, nice weather. Always enjoy it. Live in the moment. Don't look at the past. Don't look in the future. Live every day like it's your last. Hit the sauna, as always. Great time. Spread, Tyler. I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.